This is the Grassroots Motorsports Magazine's $2015 challenge, where you run what you brung, as long as it doesn't cost more than $2015. Created by the magazine years ago, this series is designed to test how well a car handles on the autocross, how well it drag races, and how well it looks in a concours. And that's what these cars are lined up for right now. Everything from a near wrecking yard Miata to a pretty nice looking Alfa Romeo Spider, and then, well, a Chevy Sprint with 3 cylinders.
When we started this back in 1999, this came out of a bench racing thing one night where we were lamenting the fact everybody's complaining about how expensive racing is, and we're kind of like, you know what, I bet you for a couple of grand you could put a competitive race car together if you just get off your butt and do some work and do some horse trading, use eBay and stuff like that. And the first year the staff built 3 cars on our own just because we didn't think anybody'd show up. And it's kind of taken off from there.
Of course, now that racing's done, you got to make your car pretty for the concours. And here's a Volkswagen Beetle with an engine where one shouldn't be, and it's a V8 to boot. But by gosh, let's make this little black bug pretty for the judges.
This is our 11th event.
What's special about this black Beetle? What's it got under the hood, and how light is it with all that power?
It's a 353 small block Chevy, and as raced weight is going to be around 2390. There is a community here that is very hard to describe, but last night when we broke, about 14 people came to our aid, and 5 different teams that I could think of were over here helping us as we thrashed for over 2 hours to try and get the car back on the track, and we were able to pull off a late-minute pass that proved to be very successful.
This is Denny Cribill's 1996 Plymouth Neon. No, not a Dodge Neon, a Plymouth Neon. And you wonder where the 440 cubic inch Mopar engine is? Well, as with any race car, it's set far back into the car to make sure that there's good weight balance. In fact, the driver is so far back that the net is on the back door. This vehicle had a little issue during the drag races. It lost its left rear wheel just after the start.
Yeah, tire shook on the first pass, and it snapped the wheel off. When it hooked, he pulled second to try to stop the tire shake, and knocked the 4 lugs off the back because it's a Mustang rear in 8.8. It only has 4 lugs. It sheared them all off.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a Plymouth. With a 440 cubic inch Mopar V8. Some of the guys at the 2015 Challenge take life seriously. Here's a Camaro bought in Gainesville for $1,000 and made to look like a Trans Am race car out of a video game. But here's the fun thing. This was a T-top, so the builder put a roof on it. It's made out of plywood. Wood also makes up the side skirts. And no joke, that race car style wing is also made out of wood. Doesn't matter. Looks great.
We copied a Gran Turismo car off of the game from PlayStation and Polyphony Digital, and that's the body style we like, so we went for it.
And apparently you picked a good car because it was quick in the drags and quick in the autocross.
It did really well. We were happy with it. 12.1 1/4, and we were only 2 seconds behind the leader in the autocross.
Back in the 1980s, there was a rally class called Killer B, and it was tiny Econo boxes like this one with massive fender flares and lots of horsepower. And indeed, that's what this little Subaru Justy has. It's on a Mustang platform, but the owners put these massive fender flares to look just like a rally or rallycross car.
It started life as a 1993 Subaru Justy. We then took a 99 Mustang Cobra chassis, and we basically swapped the Justy onto the Mustang. So it has the factory 32 valve, 4.6 liter V8. It has the factory 5-speed, the rear end. Basically everything underneath is a Mustang, but the body is a Justy. And
But
then
even the body isn't really just basic Subaru Adjusty. You've done some really cool things to make it look like a Killer Bee rally car. What did you do?
yeah, our inspiration was the old Group B rally cars. Basically, we cut and welded, and we made fender flares front and rear. We shortened the front end of the Mustang, and we fit everything from the Adjusty onto it. So
You may remember last year, one entry was a totally stock Big Infiniti. That prompted a desire to do what is now called the aristocrat class. And what you've got here are big 1990s and 2000 era luxury imports with V8s and some very good bones.
And this kind of just happened on our message board where these guys just started buying these old Lexuses and Infinitis and BMWs, and you said, all right, what the heck, we'll have a class for them. It'll
Two
be
of the
fun.
entries are right here out of Jacksonville, bought for a grand total of less than $1,000 each.
In this case Lincoln, in this case Lexus, they already did all the hard work for me. You know, they put powerful engines in cars with sophisticated suspensions. So it's a good starting point, you know, and because of depreciation, you can get them relatively inexpensively.
And all you did with them basically is rubber and some lightning, right?
On the Lincoln, we actually purchased this on Monday, so we bought it like 5 days ago. We didn't actually start working on it until Thursday night when we got to the parking lot of the hotel. And all we did on this case was take 300 pounds of weight out of it, basically all the luxury items out of the interior. We put a racing seat in it. That was it, you know. And on this car, I actually bought it broken. It wasn't running when I got it. I had to put a starter in it. That's all it took to fix it. I put some shocks, some springs, a set of sway bars on it, and some good tires.
Here's looking at you, kid. Sean Korb's little Fiat 850 Spider has about 53 horsepower. It's now under the scrutiny of judges, magazine staff, and Al Unser Jr.
$2,013. It's the most fun I've ever had with a car. I had one when I was 11, and I just got this one a couple of years ago, and I have so much fun driving it. It wanders all over the course, but the course looks enormous compared to the car.
Yes.
And so I can slide the tail out, and I can cut back into the apex, and I just have so much fun with the car.
Down here, and I'm judging and enjoying the time. These automobiles, they're very unique, let's say.
Any favorites so far?
I have a couple favorites, but we just began judging, so I can't give away my secret.
Okay, it's got a Volvo grille, but that's not a Volvo, and there's no engine where the engine should be. This is actually an old Honda Insight hybrid, and wait till you see what's sitting in back. It is a Subaru flat six engine with the transmission hanging out the rear. This is a Franken-motor of a car.
We have converted it to a mid-engine rear-wheel drive machine. Our goal here is to do a budget race car, but our goal particularly for this year is to have pull 2 Gs of lateral acceleration for under 2 grand. It's 2G for 2G, that's our slogan tagline. So this is why we chose a low center of gravity engine. Yep. And then we choose to design our own suspension to accommodate
They say
that.
variety is the spice of life, and that's no truer than here at the $2015 Challenge. You've got everything from little Miatas to big V8s. You've got everything from box stock Maximas to fully tuned rallycross cars. But again, that's what makes this a very unique experience. For Jacksonville.com, I'm Dan Scanlon.